At last progress was being made. The radius arms were all in position, the handbrake cable was all connected up on the brake calipers, and the brake pipes were all now in place. The fuel send and return pipes were also in place and all tied down, with the foam pads that the body was going to rest on also put in place. There's going to be some changes with the handbrake too. So I take it that's where you're going to be mounting the handbrake?
Roughly about there, yeah. It's going to be... Obviously that'll be underneath, but it'll be somewhere there.
Yeah.
So the bracket's going to be under there somewhere.
Okay. There was also another change which was going to make lifting the car body that bit easier and make it a little bit lighter. Between the last visit and the current visit, Gary had removed the cracked windscreen ready for replacement. While his methods were a little unconventional, at least it was going to make today's job a little bit easier. So let's get on to that now. The first step was to lift the car body back onto the chassis, and this was actually going to be the easiest part of the day.
Just set it going, yeah?
I'm taking pictures now, Billy.
Don't fall down, Peter, either.
Oh, come on. You want the comedy moment, sure.
Won't be funny when you're on to play to hospital.
What's then? He's not told.
No, my sister-in-law's not working at A&E no more, don't they?
So what are we going to do about that big hole?
Well, she wouldn't have no sympathy for you.
Don't fall down it. We don't expect to lift it, me and my dad will do it.
We lifted it off with windscreen in, so
See
let's
what it's
try
like.
it first.
Right, nice and steady. Are we high enough at the back?
Yeah. I can see that from here.
Drop it down.
You have a look at once now, Gary, and see if they're in the right position.
That's right.
No.
Where do you want to go?
It don't matter. No, it don't matter.
It's falling over here. It's rocking.
Right. Well, that one can stay where it is.
So with the easy part done with, let's see what happens next.
Right, Malcolm, you need to come around here, I think.
Okay.
Right, so we're going to try and get it on now. So when me and my dad bring it up, we're going to come back that way a little bit, a few feet, probably about 2 or 3 foot, and then we're going to put it up on an angle and try and get it down there.
Right, so
And we might need your help as well, so when you've done that, just pull all this lot out, it'll just slide out.
So you want that one out first though?
You can if you want. So
If you bring it down at an angle, surely then that would be better off in place.
You can get round me, can't you? Yeah.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah. Alright?
Yeah.
Right, that's out to the way, is it?
Yeah.
Right, this lot back now.
Back.
And then we might need your help as well with lifting.
Yay, I get to do something useful.
We need to go back a bit further.
How much further?
Do these need to come out first? Turns out I was right. We'll see that later. Due to the way the car and the chassis are designed, the footwells for the passenger and the driver have to be levered into the front part of the chassis, which meant lifting the back end quite high up. This is the fun bit.
How much further is it? You don't have to go there.
Where are we at down? Is that going in?
Yeah. I can see it in the middle.
Once we drop down a bit more at our end.
You're going to go.
Right, let's have to go upwards a bit and back. That's it.
You got it?
Okay. Alright, where are we at now?
I don't know, but I'll get my fingers out of there.
Hey.
Right, we're nearly there.
Where are we going, Mum?
Right, it's going.
You're going down, for sure.
Wow.
Right, very, very gently now.
Have you got it?
I don't know whether everything's going to line up or not.
Right, okay.
Needs to forward a bit, I think.
Well, that's been easy getting it off. I've told you.
Yeah, but don't forget you still have the bolts in when you get it off.
I know.
Oh, hang on, it's still got bolts. Get it up.
Alright, up a bit.
I did wonder about them.
Tell you what, I'll put that lump of wood in.
I'll get wood until I get bolts out.
Just a minute. Right, drop it down.
That's it.
That's it.
The choice was going to be simple. We could either cut holes in the body or remove the radius arm bolts. Gary chose wisely to remove the radius arm bolts.
There you go.
Racetrack's other way.
I knew you were filming, you see.
It's not Steve McQueen move.
Yeah, in San Francisco.
You want to persuade her, Gary?
Persuade you mean a big hammer?
Yeah.
I'm sure we're not close to Nürburgring, are we?
No, more like Burger King.
Yeah.
What you want? What? No, they won't come out like that, yeah. Have you got some grips or something to hold it? Careful there. We'll tidy that up in a minute. So we can have that.
That's really good. Got plenty of hammers.
That sounded like Jeremy Clarkson, that.
Small hammers, bigger hammers, and even bigger hammers.
There's always an hammer involved.
So one by one, the rear radius arm bolts were removed. But as we'll see, that causes a problem later on.
Change of hammer tactic.
Hammer time! Yeah, just in case the car comes straight down on top of me.
Yeah, I don't think Marcos hats are the fashion, are they?
I just don't want the wheel to move.
So you thought you stopped it by your head?
Yeah. Well, I worked for that guy from East 17. He managed to run over his own head while he was reversing his car.
I did, yeah. I think he was just trying to have a close look at tread on his tyres.
Oh, make sure they were legal.
Yeah. No, I don't think he was driving it.
Well, that's the thing, he was.
That's the hardest.
There's always one, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always good.
No, you're alright, I'll come the car now.
What is that?
You put a nice piece of wood in it.
Well, I didn't.
Oh, got it. He was thinking about you.
Left hand.
You want a left-hander?
Slowly, innit?
Yeah, give that
It's
a
all this
leave.
last one, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's got all the weight
No,
on
no,
it.
no,
It's
not
all
like
on
that.
that
Like
one,
that, because you get more leverage then.
It's all last one.
You'll have to press that way as well, otherwise it'll fly off.
If it goes, I'll hold it.
The trouble is we've got springs on it now, so they're pushing.
Is it coming?
Yeah, it's coming
Yeah, it's
slowly,
coming
it's
now.
unwinding.
Yeah.
It's definitely going.
Do you think we're part of when it's finished?
Might be dead before
I'm going to
it's
say I'm level here then. Have you got it?
Hey.
Ooh.
Right.
Right.
Is it ready to go out?
It's all.
right. It's ready
You can
to
hold on it and go here and take the wood out. Do you want another helper on this back end here?
I might be better going down there. I mean, I'll look to see what's happening.
Well, it's only on that bit of wood, don't it, yeah?
Well, I can get underneath. Can't. Yeah, right. We'll take the wood out and we'll try and drop it down. We'll see if it'll go.
Welcome. Excuse me.
Just have a look at
I'm going to take the leg, just in case. Are you right?
Right, all the time it needs to slide this way as well.
What is it?
So if you do it that mouth, you just sort
On
of,
that side.
yeah, it'll come up a little bit and it'll go this
Make sure
way.
you don't get your fingers caught.
Yeah.
Ah, well, that's what I'm holding here.
It's a case of just
Keep your fingers out.
press it that way and,
Yeah.
and upwards a little bit as well. Right, somebody needs to take the wood out, obviously. Right,
Good idea.
lift it, that's it.
You got it out now.
Yeah.
It's going down.
Timber!
Hey,
Still going down.
It's going.
Right.
Ah.
What's it stuck on now? Do we need an angle grinder? Is it still?
Hacksaw?
We're tight on them sills.
Yeah, it's touching on there.
Right.
And sills are causing a bit of problems and all. But apart from that, it's going to go.
Does anyone want to sit inside and jump?
See what I can do with this now.
Right, where are you going with
So
that?
when you move forward a bit.
Right, yeah, this is the most difficult bit here. You see what's happening now.
Well, don't move it.
Well, we're clear them bits are welded on, so that's a bonus.
Ah,
Yay!
yeah. That's good.
We checked around the car to try and find where it was actually sticking. And then we thought we'd found the problem.
Pushing up against the chassis at the bottom.
Ah.
Pushing up on this side, so
Yeah,
you can't
that's
really
to
pull
lift
forward.
Do we want to go back up? Put
Back
that
to
down,
lift.
back a bit.
I'll tell you what might help. Gary,
Yeah,
have you got a trolley jack?
yeah, we'll do that. It's not
Bring this side up a bit. That's currently banged up against
That's
the
what's sort of soft underneath.
Alright, I think you're going to need two, because you need one on that
Yeah,
side, you're going to need
I know.
one on this side.
Just give it a little. One behind you.
Oh, tell you what we have got.
Yeah, I can't get that one under. I'll tell you what, I'll go down to the pit and see what I can do down there. I can't bring the beam jack back either because that's at the
That
other side
little jack
of there.
there, is that what we're talking about, Gary?
Is this it?
Yeah, you can use that.
Right, what are we going to put on top of it then?
Just the wood. Saw that, yeah.
Some wood.
With the reassembly of a car, but you never thought you'd see some wood being sawn in half.
I know, I thought it to go back on again. What's that, mate?
I'm surprised it's gone so far.
I am.
So what, you know, when you said you were hoping to get off before 11, did you mean AM or PM?
no, I meant Monday.
We thought the footwells of the car were actually causing the problem and jamming up against the lower part of the subframe. The thing was, that wasn't actually the issue, as we'll soon discover.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it's got to go up, hasn't it?
yeah.
What, at this end? Oh, overall.
So that way.
Right. I can
It's a silly design.
well, it's 50 cents.
No, that won't go under.
Somewhere, under.
Yeah.
Oh, Malcolm's got his under.
Done.
You've got yours under, haven't you? Yeah. A small one will be better. Oh, Jack. Oh, yeah.
I might have to use a lump of wood.
Well, I'm lifting the whole car now.
Lift me up there, Gary.
No, they can't come out.
Oh, sorry, they can't come out.
Together.
Bit of a bad idea, pulling that.
Yeah, that's a bad idea. V8 on your foot.
You know that idea?
Well,
Ed?
use that as a fulcrum.
You know that idea? Ed?
Yeah.
It ain't working. I'm lifting the whole chassis as well.
Oh, yeah.
As we can see here, the bodywork was actually pushed up against the top bar on the chassis, so lifting it from the bottom was just lifting the whole car. It had to be jammed somewhere else. As you can see to the right here, the two holes in the chassis and in the bodywork needed to line up, so there was still quite a distance for the car to go down. The thing was, we didn't quite know where it was being jammed, so there was still a few places to look.
Yeah, it's on edge of here as well. You're not on seat where seat's going. You're not seat bases.
Oh, yeah.
It's resting on there as well. That's what it means that it needs to go forward before it can go down on there.
As it turned out, it was the rear seat mouldings that were sitting on the cross member at the back, just by the rear wheel arch. Without moving the car forward and getting these off this particular area, the car wasn't going to move any further down at all.
Right. So if those go, then
there as well, isn't
that's
there?
where the seats are.
Yeah. When that comes over, it should go.
Right. Are we going up and back again?
No, we're not. We want to go down and in.
Oh, no.
Down
In
and in.
theory.
Down and in.
Right, I'll go to the back end then. Always heaviest.
11 hours stone at the minute. Heaviest I've been.
Heaviest you've been, and that's probably the lightest I've been.
I'm nearly at the top of that one now.
Hey, started to go at this.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to have to do the other side as well.
Right.
You're
Just
pretty
keep out at level.
nearly clear on that side. It's this side that's not
Yeah,
clear.
it's starting to go. There shouldn't be any difference there.
The seats were still sat on the cross member, but they had started to move, so we were getting closer to getting the car finally down onto the chassis properly.
So what, are you just trying to like jig it so it falls in?
Yeah. It's about
See where the seat is there?
it's about half an inch off. It's just resting on top of this box section here.
That's the seat, isn't it?
It's about that far off.
So it needs to
going
go
off the
forward,
edge.
doesn't it? It needs
Yeah,
to,
yeah,
you
that's
need, you
right.
need to lift it and then
Yeah.
move it forward
But you
about.
see here, it's right. You see these front
Locked the
bits
front chassis.
down here. This where we are here. That needs to go upwards a little bit. It's rounded off at the bottom, so once it goes, once it starts going onto there, it should just go in. But it were a bastard to get out.
So if it were tight to get off, it's going to be hard to put on.
Yeah, force
So
it.
we need to bring it. We have
You kind of need to lift it from the back.
No, we need to press down up back,
And push it forwards.
Lift these up.
Right.
That needs to happen first before even.
Yeah.
missing it,
These
so-
have to come up as much as we can. So
Right.
there's two people at either side of there.
So what-
Get your fingers under them. Pull it as hard as you can.
Keep
upwards.
out at sills. Wheel out, should
If
be
we
alright.
lift it, somebody pushes it from the
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
Malcolm,
Yeah,
you're
that'll
going
be
to
all
this corner.
Who's going to
Oh,
lift it
Malcolm.
from the side?
I don't know. There's plenty
Got
of
to stop
us.
filming then, aren't we?
Yep.
Stop filming.
Just tell us where you want
You
us
have
and
to do
then.
that. Me and the old up front.
Alright.
Right.
Do you want to sign in or sign out?
Yeah.
Oh, you'll be alright. You need to press down.
Press down.
Right, wait a
Yeah,
minute.
yeah. You know, I didn't realise it when I go so far.
So I'm
So
going
going
to
up.
push
Oh,
forward.
Pushing down.
wow, you're going forward. Down.
I'll press it down, yeah?
Yeah.
With Gary underneath the car, levering it as best he could, and the rest of us on top, persuading it to go in the right direction, we were finally getting the car to move a little bit, so it was beginning to look like we were going to get the car back on its chassis properly.
Right, are we ready?
What we're doing?
Press down.
Press down.
Yeah, it's going, hang on. Oh, hey! Right, we'll have to lift it up because we once got jammed.
Well, just a touch.
Just a touch. That, I've got it, so right. Right, there you go.
Oh,
See,
smooth as
see?
out that.
Oh, yes.
Look at it now.
What a difference.
See, you get the correct tool. Look at that.
Yeah, there were lots of them.
Right, it's down now.
Yep, success that.
Oh, I thought it was all going to go wrong.
Nearly did.
When you think about it, though, to say how difficult this is.
That's a hell of a
Getting
difference,
it
though,
off
isn't it?
and we've done all right getting it back on, haven't we?
Oh, yeah.
Brilliant.
Success! Or so we thought, until I spotted one little thing.
Quite down because the seatbelt things aren't through.
We're about, yeah, it's about 1.5 inches to go down, yeah.
Because I can see from the holes here,
Yeah.
those holes up there, from there.
Really, so it's to go down further.
See on your right hand
Yeah.
side? There.
Yeah,
This side's through.
Yeah, here, you shouldn't be able to put your fingers there.
Don't
All right.
put them anywhere near it. Oh, it's through there, isn't it?
Not quite.
No, it's a long way off. Oh, hang on. One at radius arms is touching up back of here.
Oh.
Is that what's causing the problem?
Yeah. I think it might.
But it looks like it's down more at this side than it is
Well,
that.
it might be. Yeah, it's the radius arms are stopping it from going any further.
Yeah,
so
'cause you
them
can see
radius
that one
arms
there.
needs to go that way.
Since the bolts had been removed, jiggling the body around to get it into place had actually moved the radius arms out of their positioning on the housing. As a result, the back axle had shifted, and these were now getting in the way. So while we solved one problem earlier, we caused another one later. Once again, Gary was under the car, levering bits of it into position. This time it was the axle to try and move it so the radius arms would get out of the way.
Pull the car back then?
No, you won't do it like that. You're going to you've got to lever it from the bottom.
But lift it slightly and then drop it again.
That's what I want to do. The car off. Check it out.
Right, the one on this side's out at way now.
That is,
Right,
isn't
get
it?
this side down
So
there.
what's that? Where's that one now?
I can see its radius arm at the bottom.
It's close, isn't it?
What do you think?
Just right. I'll get something in here and I'll prise it.
Oh, there's some movement there. Hang on.
Going.
It's moving.
Yeah, right. Get it down. Down.
Hey!
Hey,
Oh, tight down.
is it down?
Is he down enough?
Well, it'll do.
Right, okay.
That's
The screws will probably pull it down.
That's the entire British car manufacturing
Yeah.
attitude. It'll do.
Exactly.
So, impatient to get on with the job, Gary started screwing the bodywork back onto the chassis and tightening things up. But with the main job for the day done, it was now time to shift things around so that everything could get put back into the garage. First thing to move out the way was that V8 engine.
Were you dropping that into it?
Yeah, I'm going to get this in this afternoon. Right, hang on a minute.
That's gonna be not careful.
Dear. Red thing.
Oh, you moved it.
You seen that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, bread thing. Believe it or not, we had that engine on that.
I can't believe you're using it. That's how light it is.
No,
This is the beauty of alloy engines.
It's all there for now. Get that bike back in.
Then it was the turn of the Triumph Bonneville to go back into its little area of the garage.
I would not stop firing it off.
It's really difficult to manoeuvre this thing. Backwards. Push forward hard now.
If you lean it this way, it'll clear.
And go like that side.
Got it.
Run myself over. Get it right back in there.
There we go. All right.
It's funny because my brother's garage has just got the fridge, freezer and washer in and all that.
Oh yeah.
There's not many garages has got
Yeah.
a car like that and a bike.
Yeah. I can't believe I'm not using it.
Garage.
It needs to be a bit bigger, doesn't it? Let's see if we can do it some video.
Don't forget to come back and visit us to see more of what's going on with this Marcos. And remember, some of these videos are exclusive to Patreon. We are available on YouTube, of course, and on Twitter, Facebook, and we have our website. All the links for that are down below and are in the general description as well. Take care. See you soon.